interesting thing is, like the time that Trump came in the last time around in 2016, he really didn't have all the appointments and understand how government works and how to stop things. This time, like yesterday, they put a gag order over the entire federal government saying they're not allowed to do interviews. They're not allowed to do. I mean, like they gagged the federal government yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, they actually know what they're doing this time. It's pretty amazing to see what's going on right now.
That's true. It's very thorough this time. He's also cut off all kinds of programs that were in progress. So what he did was he cut off the funding. So it's very effective.
Federal government, like private, like in many places when you get a job, either contractually or required, not through contract, but as terms of services, non-disparagement or non-disclosure. Are federal employees subject to the same limitations on what they can talk about their roles and their government?
Yeah, they are. So that if they work for the executive branch, they fall under that order of operations, I guess you could say. So like it depends on who they're employed by. If they're employed by the executive branch, then yeah, the executive branch has full control over who can say what and do what.
Interesting.
Yeah, like you can't put a gag on the Commerce Committee in the Senate, for example.
Yeah, so that's the legislative branch.
That's the leverage, yeah.
The whole ending birthright citizenship doesn't sound constitutional. Does anybody know anything about that?
I don't know if he ended birthright citizenship. What he did is he made the executive branch. This will be really interesting. He made the executive branch. They're going to make the executive branch stop working in a sense for people that are trying to use this. I think it's going to fail, but they didn't write it in such a way just to end it. They wrote it in such a way of how the actual executive branch sees them.
Yeah, so stop granting the automatic citizenship. But what I think is interesting is like I think potentially there's an argument for children born to illegal immigrants, but this order includes people that are here legally with visas and people here legally under the PWP program. So I don't know how you could make an argument for those people because they are here legally.
Well, as it was explained to me by both a judge and a different lawyer, so like the argument he's making is that persons subject to the jurisdiction thereof does not count for non-citizens, where traditionally it has counted. Which,
well, I mean, he's not even making that argument because he's allowing it for non-citizens that have permanent residency status. He's specifically
he's talking about folks that are not in the country legal. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when I talked to the judge and the lawyer, their point to me was subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and persons mean any person in any jurisdiction the federal government holds. So if you're on a military base, that would hold. If you're in a territory, that would hold. If you're in the United States proper, persons, regardless of whether they're legal or not, are subject to the United States jurisdiction. At least that's the way they explained it to me.
Some people are not. So those people already don't get citizenship. So it's really the question of which other people, if any, also aren't subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
I think that's actually helpful to explain who isn't subject to the jurisdiction. So you'd be talking about the children born of diplomats, for example.
That would be a very good example.
Also, before other treaties and whatnot, Native Americans wouldn't be subject to.
Well, they're still not. So the Native Americans actually get citizenship now through statutory law.
Well, it also depends on where. If they're born on a reservation, then that's correct.
Yeah,
if they're born off the reservation, then they would get it the old.
United States.
Because the individuals are subject to the jurisdiction of America, but the reservation isn't.
Okay, and then also there's other exceptions, but like I said, those exceptions are very rare. So then the only real possible question is the illegal immigrants, because I can't see the court saying that people that are here on visas aren't subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. It just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you can't even expect the courts to look at people who are here illegally. The fact that they are illegal demonstrates that they're subject to the jurisdiction of the United States.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
of all the that are included in the executive order, the only one that has a small chance could possibly be the illegal immigrants. But the ones that with visas, like, I don't even see any argument for that. That just seems kind of crazy.
No,
See,
there's zero argument.
I'm not even sure you could do that with illegal immigrants. It says all persons born or naturalized in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction thereof, or citizens of the United States and the state within which they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law that shall abridge the privileges and immunities of citizens. And if you look at the writing of the time for the 14th Amendment, citizens did not mean proper U.S. citizen. It meant person when those guys crafted it. And it says, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So I looked this up on a North Texas website, and here are the things that illegal immigrants are given the rights for. They have the right to due process in the 14th Amendment to an education. They have a right against unreasonable searches and seizures. They have a right, well, it stops there. So there are certain rights they have and certain rights they don't. But those are the ones they actually have.
Well, anyways, it's very interesting because this is an executive order that doesn't have the well thought out the way they're going to battle. They already know the executive order and what they're going to argue in court seem to already be put together. Maybe it's a stretch, but at the same time, it's kind of an interesting argument, which is should people be allowed to have anchor babies here in the United States, and if we get rid of the ability to have anchor babies, does it actually possibly change the incentive for people to come across the border illegally? And it's a pretty easy answer, right, Marshall?
I mean, it's easy if the court sides with it, but the current jurisprudence is that if you have a kid here, the kid's a citizen and you're not.
Listen, McFast. Even if Trump loses this case, it's a win for Trump because he's going to say, look at the other side argue to continue this emergency at our border. They want illegals to come into the country and take your jobs.
Yeah, but you got to remember, this order doesn't apply only to illegals. It also applies to people here legally.
Yeah, and you also got to remember, Philip, that this whole line of thinking is deeply unpopular with the entire left, all of the middle, and most of the right. Like, this whole idea is only popular among basically the far right fanatic.
I get exactly what you're saying. I'm just looking at, even if he loses the court battle, which I think he's going to, I mean, I do think that there's something to be said. Jeff, you actually kind of see if I'm right or wrong, but I do think the political battle, Trump will turn this into they don't care about you. Look at the havoc in New York City. Look at this and that. They don't want to stop it.
Jeff, what about the silent majority?
No.
Yeah, so
like in order to change the birthright part of that, you'd have to write a new constitutional amendment. Which the last time we passed one was in '94, so it's not all that long time ago.
Yeah, but Trump's not doing this because he really cares. He's doing this because he wants to have a political win.
I don't think the silent majority was racist in the 90s, but I think the silent majority is racist today.
Why do we keep going to the silent majority? It's like you really want to talk about the silent majority?
No, I don't even know if your silent majority is what I mean by the silent majority. I just heard Jeff say
the
that
anchor babies have been, that law has been abused for years. When I was in Central America almost 30 years ago, I knew girls that had passports because they're from their parents who would come to the U.S. just so they would pay for the baby and the baby would have dual citizenship. And that's a crock of shit.
Oh gosh, here we go.
I was just responding, Philip, to Jeff when he said that the only people who are against changing or ending...
So, Zach, I wasn't in a position to respond. Quoting the silent majority on something that has extensive polling is both dishonest and retarded, and you should stop.
Well, the point about the silent majority is they don't show up in the polls.
No, that's not what the silent majority is. But that's fine. I mean, you said you didn't vote from like 18 to 27.
No, I've admitted. I will readily admit my own ignorance. I'm just saying I think that there are a bunch of people who are mistrustful of immigrants.
You can think what you want. The polling is very clear, and yes, the silent majority actually participates in polling. They just don't vote. They don't show up and protest. Like you're very, very much mixing up things, and I like to believe you're intelligent.
I might be using the wrong term. I just mean when you say
while the practice of quote unquote anchor babies may be unpopular, the idea of doing anything to upset the concept of birthright citizenship is incredibly unpopular among Americans. All the abuses you want to talk about, fine, but birthright citizenship is something that is important to Americans, and to America for very important historical reasons.
all right, well, that's a good answer. It's better than no.
Well, I unmuted to say something to you, but I also have workmen here, and I answered him instead.
What do you got going on in your house today? What do you got getting fixed?
My shower.
Oh yeah, you gotta be able to shower if you're sick.
Correct. Luckily, I have two, but my master shower was.
I've been known to have a
The
shower.
door shattered on me, unfortunately. Rough sex in the shower is not a good idea if you have that.
I've been known to have a shower even when I'm not sick.
That's true. And you did that all while being French, which is impressive.
Very impressive. Was it Queen Elizabeth who said that she was very happy to take a bath once a year or something like that?
You did Queen Elizabeth with a smeller? Is that what you're saying?
Not the second, by the way, obviously. Queen Elizabeth the First.
Good deal.
Yeah, I'll go with thumbs up.
William, since your savior is in Trump, how's your days been going since Trump got elected? Or
Planning to, but my mic was off.
Sometimes that happens. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I just thought I would open a public room and put the title of Dog Walk up and see what happened.
Seeing as how we haven't had the dog walk in over a year.
Dog
And
walk.
Greg's rationale was, everybody is too stupid. Which I think
Yeah, he's not wrong.
personally.
Yeah, he's kind of not wrong.
Oh,
So
yeah,
what's happening?
Like
What's
it's
happening?
not exactly highbrow conversation all the time.
No. How are you feeling about your country? Things going okay? Things are pretty smooth, or do you think things are going wrong direction, right direction?
I mean, I think some things are going to have to see. I'm, not happy with the executive order about birthright citizenship, but I know for a fact that when it goes to an appellate court, the appellate court is going to look at the Trump administration and go, no, you can't change the constitutional amendment, you need to pass a fucking new one. Because that's the actual answer. The president has the right, under certain extensions, under certain ways the court has written about laws to intervene, but they don't have the right to change the constitutional amendment. So I'm not super happy about that. The mass enforcement raids are going to start happening. Probably not going to be a big fan of that, because I think it's going to be real disruptive, and it won't help us much. But all in all, he hadn't turned into Hitler, and the world is still here, and, that kind of stuff. I'm not necessarily a fan of all of his executive orders. I'm not, for example, a fan of pairing cartels as foreign terrorist groups, only because I can see a future in which a bunch of tanks get brought to South Texas along with a bunch of military personnel. And while we've had two bases here in the past, They closed in the 1980s, so we haven't had any military postings here for, 40 or 50 years. So it probably wouldn't be accepted very well by most of the residents, but they do have the right to do that. So I think it's a mixed bag, dude. I think there's going to be a lot of time people are going to put their head in their hand and go, why the fuck is this dude doing this? And I think there are going to be some times when we go, that makes sense. Thank you for doing it.
It does feel like that a lot of the undocumented or illegal immigrants also take very kind of crucial low-paying jobs, and once they start to get deported, and once there's the fear of deportation, and they stop turning up to work, it sounds like various sectors of the economy will start to take hits.
Yeah, it's going to make food more expensive for sure. So it'll probably make beef more expensive. It'll probably make eggs more expensive. It probably will make milk more expensive, even though we get most of our milk from Canada, believe it or not. So it's going to have some unforeseen effects for sure. And if the pain is bad enough and long enough, people where I live will start losing their fucking minds. But we'll just have to see. Like my area, the 5 counties where I live, Hidalgo, Willacy, Cameron, Starr, and Zapata counties all flipped red at the very least by 3 points, the very most by 7.5 points for the first time since Reconstruction. So they're the area had been controlled by the Democratic Party all that time. And so some of these folks finally want, the president to do something about it. We had a lot of what we call land grant families who the King of Spain deeded them land in the 1700s, and we as Texas and the United States honored the deeds. And those guys are traditionally Democratic stalwarts. They have moved to being less stalwarts because in 2024, these guys, they found 854 bodies, which for farmers and ranchers in South Texas, which is one of our only sources of wealth and revenue in the economy, it meant some of these guys were finding as many as 3 bodies a day. And so a lot of them blamed Joe Biden for that number of deaths. Said things like, if he'd only enforced the law, there wouldn't be so many dead people. And so that I think really motivated some of these folks that were Democratic stalwarts their entire lives to hold their nose and vote for Donald Trump.
Interesting. Wow.
Igor, how are you?
Igor.
Hey, I'm good, Marshall. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Doing well, man. I'm out at the ranch right now.
Nice.
What's the, do you like the name Igor?
Dog walk, yeah. Bring back the memories.
Dog walk without the aggression.
Well, just give me a second, then I will get mad. What's up, Marshall?
Oh, not much. Looking at a really fat pig that I'm not going to shoot because I then have to gut it. I'm looking for turkeys.
A really fat pig?
Yeah, they're wild boars.
Oh, wild boar, right, okay. He's not one of your
Which, they're considered an invasive species, so there's no bag limit and no license in Texas required. But, for example, if you want to shoot doves or turkey or a deer, you have to have a license to take the animal, even if you're taking it on your own property.
Yeah, that kind of figures.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing Texas does. Texas Parks and Wildlife does surveys of ecology in the land and set the bag limits for animals accordingly. So they're actually looking at the ecology of the state of Texas and deciding how many one can take, how many deer one could take or how many dove one could take without damaging the ecosystem.
Interesting.
We Texans, we're on the right, but Texas Parks and Wildlife does an absolutely fantastic job in taking care of the ecology of the state.
Are you like hunting boars like from the height or on the foot?
I do both.
Because
So the last time I shot a pig, I was on foot. If I shot a pig right now, I'd be in my truck.
No, but like here, because our boars here, apparently they're very dangerous, so you need to be on the top of the special tree house that is made for because if you not kill it immediately, the boar will eat.
Oh, they turn on you and can slit you from belly to mouth with their tusks.
And you never shot them in the head because they have like very strong forehead that actually can fuck up.
Oh, absolutely.
Marshall, how many pigs do you have on the ranch?
Oh God, more than a dozen. I mean, I saw a dozen babies yesterday. No, the day before. Adults, probably a dozen. And they kind of roam back and forth between our ranch and 2 others.
Beautiful.
Scooby, why you have the picture of the worst American president in history?
GW, he was like
GW,
he's like compared to what's happening now. As weird as that administration was, it was at least it was old school kind of. There's a bit of old school Republican feeling to it.
A million brown people. Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I didn't say he was cool. I said it was like a bit more, felt a bit more traditional.
And million brown people. What are you talking about? He's like I would argue the worst American president in history.
Well, yeah, possibly. It was more Cheney who was more the butcher,
I'll tell you, I've never been a fan of the blame Cheney for Bush's bad decisions. Bush knew what he was doing. The man's not stupid. Dick Cheney was somebody who pushed George W. to be even more of a war hawk than he already was, but he didn't really help making bad decisions.
Yeah, no, you're right, Marshall. Bush was a hawk, man.
I say that actually liking George W. Bush because he was governor of our state, and he did a good job as governor.
Gas was
a really good job.
Gas was like $5 back then.
In Texas under Governor Bush, no. In the United States, at the end of his second term, yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, at the end of that.
I mean, you can find some justification for Afghanistan, but like Iraq, that was like total failure.
I know Iraq was a cluster. Crazy.
And how much money, Marshall, you know better, how much money you guys spend or invest or lose in the Iraq and Afghanistan? Some trillions of dollars.
At the very least, the estimation is about $7 trillion.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was a great governor!
He added more to the debt of the country than any president in U.S. history up to that point.
Yeesh.
But he was a great governor!
Afghanistan was defensible, but then he fucked off and went to Iraq, which literally had nothing to do with 9/11. And obviously has made the Middle East less safe. Saddam was a sadistic asshole and dictator who shot his own people, but Saddam was at least a counterbalance to the mullahs in Iran.
Saddam was a secular, his whole idea was a secular, all that crew at the beginning of the rule was secular against extremism in the Middle East, including the Nasser and old senior Assad and stuff like that, because it was a fight between a few, like, how I say, strings in those individual countries. So they were, yes, and pretty secular.
Yeah.
And they were like pan-Arabist, most of them. We lost Marshall.
Oh, I've had some bore issues. Wow.
When your mind tells you you're done listening, your mind also tells you they're done talking, which is not necessarily.
Yeah, there's that. It's my perception is that you've stopped. So I honestly don't want to interrupt anybody. Like I don't want to be a jerk. Like,
I hear dead
I smell dead people.
what?
What's up? Just so you know,
I fuck dead people.
I don't take things personal, so I know you were sick, so I didn't take anything you said personal. Just
Oh no, I meant everything I said to you, Ken. No, I feel myself this morning being extra annoyed with people, so that's on me.
It's also possible that we are being extra annoying.
I mean, you are being yourself, Zach. I'm not actually extra annoyed with you because I get you, sort of. But, like, I love Marshall. And I've already wanted to slap him twice today. So. and I actually love his little idiosyncrasies. They generally just make me smile. But I'm cranky.
Wait, for content disagreements or other things about Marshall?
I love that question, Yaakov. I know that question means something in your head. I have no idea what you're asking me.
You said something about disagreeing or whatever. It's not worth it.
Anyhow.
Jeff,
No,
I
I love Marshall in all the ways an intelligent heterosexual man can love.
Let me count the ways.
Don't suppress your inner homosexuality, Jeff.
So I don't think anyone would accuse me of suppressing any homosexuality.
Oh, so Jeff usually expressed full-on gay now?
I love, being extra gay.
I thought Jeff usually exposes outer homosexuality.
Yeah. I do faux gay. It's not real, but it's fun to make people uncomfortable with it. The best is trying to make the gays uncomfortable with it.
How do you make them comfortable?
Well, it doesn't work with Daniel, although I do get him to giggle sometimes. So, Daniel's like extra gay and extra comfortable. So, and I think he approaches the world in a similar manner. So me, bringing up the genocide he wants to have in my throat, just to be. Now, if I said something like that to Nicholas, that black man would turn white and black. Or if I said it to Avi, he'd go, no, I only see you as a friend. I only see you as a friend. Like a brother.
Is Daniel the one in Europe?
Yeah.
Part of the time.
He's fun. I gotta
He's the
get
blue guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Fun as shit. Yeah. He's what you want.
I mean,
push an agenda, and he gets shit less with other people think.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of true. He does push an agenda. It just happens to be the right agenda. But yeah, no, he's a great dude. Now, Zach, on the other hand, good.
Zach's gay?
No, just because he's had sex with trannies doesn't make him gay. I mean, maybe it does.
Maybe he didn't realize they were trannies till afterwards.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Well, but then he fucked her again, so...
No.
Some of them you couldn't tell. It's until
I mean...
Sorry, you didn't recognize there was a dick there?
He was too drunk.
It was
too drunk.
It was a fake vagina.
Oh my.
Yes. So, I will agree with you, Yakov. Some of the trainees are more beautiful than your most beautiful woman. Just once again. Men are better at everything, including being a...
Anytime there's nothing to talk about on Clubhouse, somebody can always bring up Zach fucked a tranny, and then we got...
You actually did? Wait, hold up. You say this with, like, such... It's okay, like...
Well, at this point, I've told the story many times, and so...
Oh, yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. How many years of therapy is that?
Oh, Zach doesn't believe in therapy.
No, really, Zach?
Does he seem like an introspective guy? Zach was going to say something, and he's like, yeah, no, Jeff, sir.
I dropped my phone. What? I was sweeping the floor. What did you say?
I said you don't believe in therapy.
I've been to years of therapy.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, I have benefited from a lot of therapy.
Is dropping the phone the new dropping the soap?
No, I dropped the phone on the floor and my headphones came out of my ears.
So I'm wondering the same thing, if that was the euphemism.
I also heard it that way. But Zach, I will tell you, my life has been changed since I switched to proper over-the-ear earpods. Like that little clip that goes over my ear makes everything better.
Really? I like my AirPods.
Yeah, really. When I had things that just went in my ears, they were constantly falling out. I couldn't run with them.
Oh, okay. You got big ears. Yeah, they fit fine for me. But you know, they have those AirPods with the adjustable sizes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the thing with the over-the-ear thing. Makes it a lot more reliable.
It's also hard to have earbuds in your ears when they're fur.
Also true.
Who makes furry AirPods?
No, she meant the ears are fur.
Oh.
I didn't say that articulately,
yeah, that
though.
could have been interpreted two ways. Like,
that is hilarious.
It must be hard to be you people.
Shut up, Chuck.
No, I mean that sincerely. Like, your brain really does just work differently at times, and.
But think about it. It was a perfectly fine interpretation.
No, I mean it's legitimate. It's just most of us would hear that and look at those two possibilities and go, context dictates that it's the furry ear, not the furry earbud, especially since furry earbuds don't exist.
Well, that's why I said, who makes furry earbuds?
Like that,
something that I don't know about. Like, the world is only as wide as what I've been exposed to. There could be other things.
Yeah, you heard it the way you heard it, and then you got stuck on the way you heard it and didn't consider the other way the rest of us heard it.
Correct.
As a way to internally dispel your. You just got stuck on the way you heard it.
I defaulted to there must be some other set of earbuds that I'm not aware of, as opposed to the other path, which is okay, go ixnay on this path and go to furry ears.
I feel like it was a furry joke, which also might not. I don't know if Yakov might be as familiar with furry people as he is with furry ears.
Do you want to tell us about the time you fucked up?
Oh, wow.
Not yet. Inshallah. Islat Hashem.
I would fuck a furry.
Oh, in a heartbeat if I was single.
The fuck are you guys talking about? What's a furry?
See? Proving my point. He's proving my point.
Yaakov, I'm gonna need you to Google that, and then we can.
Okay, I'll just fuck a furry.
Yep. I actually saw a furry.
Yeah, go ahead and Google "fuck a furry" and tell us what comes up.
Read it out loud.
Well, I mean,
I think you want to go to images, probably images.
Yeah, I saw some furries at the state fair at the end of the summer.
I mean, I've seen some rough ones at festivals and shit, but I've seen some cute ones too.
Interesting.
Everybody's cute in South Florida. I should go check out the food.
He's learning. Huh.
Oh, Yaakov learned. Yaakov's like a supercomputer using an outdated BIOS.
Hold on, I'm updating the BIOS. We're doing a download.
Good stuff.
I legit have to tell people, okay, hold on a minute, I have to program this.
But Kristen, I think you do a good job of like self-talking yourself through some of the weird ways your mind understands things.
So, furry, let me make sure I got this right. Furry is a slang term for a person who is interested in anthropomorphic animals or animals with human characteristics. Furries may identify with these animals, dress up as them, or create alternative persons called fursonas.
Ooh, that's new for me. I've never heard the fursona before.
Yeah, so, or maybe that's Spanish.
No, that's
funny.
Come on, that was funny. Sounds like a Spanish word.
It has now uploaded. Downgrade successful.
There you go.
Oh, first
or I should
shooting.
say upload.
That's a verb.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you want some examples of anthropomorphic animals?
No.
Okay. This is
No.
interesting. I've actually dealt with them my whole life and didn't realize this.
You've dealt with them your whole life?
You know, I've been interacting with Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Sonic the Hedgehog, sports teams, mascots. Digimon.
Yeah, I think you might be on the wrong article.
Same article.
Yeah, you're running the wrong direction on that one.
We're talking about people who put a butt plug in their ass that has a tail.
It's like chicks that put on.
That's far afield from this.
And that's what we're talking about.
It's
No
so
idea.
cute. I can't stand it. It's so cute.
Okay, let me type in furry and butt plug.
No.
Oh, you're going down with bad rap?
Make sure you turn safe search off. Turn safe search off.
2 T's in butt, right? Yeah, okay.
You better go in private on that one.
I only have private mode.
I mean, it's been so long since I gave a shit who can see my search history. I do remember there was a period where, like, I would occasionally use private mode, but it's been a...
Oh my god.
I've still got kids who come home every once in a while. They don't need to see what the hell I'm looking at on the computer.
Hey, don't get me wrong. If I had kids coming around using my equipment, I would probably clear my search history, but being in private mode, no.
The question is, Yaakov, if you were a furry, what kind of furry would you be?
It's an excellent question.
Oh, if I had a butt plug with a furry tail?
No, you gotta have a whole furry suit with a hole for your wiener.
Oh, a hole for my wiener. Good thing I don't. Oh, okay. So everything else has no holes, just the wiener has no holes?
I think there might be a hole.
So if you were yesterday in critical thinking forum?
Those guys were fantastic.
Oh yeah, definitely that will happen, I'm sure.
I rarely get that in the weeds theologically on this app, just because there's not really a lot of good context to do it. So that was actually one of the higher level theological conversations I've ever had on the app.
Yeah, that's awesome. You should spend some more time with Elijah. He's great. He's going through a personal kind of religious journey right now, and it's interesting to hear his updates. Hello, Christian. I was in your room the other night. That was very funny. I didn't quite understand what was going on for a long time, and I think I figured it out, but good job hosting that room.
Thank you. Which one did you attend? Did you,
Let's see, it was you and Uncle Steve. Gosh, what were they talking about? I don't know, there's someone named Brenda, Mayor, and, yeah, it was a couple nights ago.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah. And Scott, to respond to something that you said earlier, you said this is like a real extracurricular activity. And I agree, honestly, it kind of is.
You should be getting credit for this.
Well, I'm not. I'm not receiving school credit, unfortunately.
You should make this a project. You should go to your teacher and say, look, I'm engaging in a sociological study and developing my broadcasting skills at the same time because I'm going to be a great broadcaster one day. And you should say, I should be getting independent study credit for that. You can say, Scott has a graduate, attended a graduate school at a very fine institution. I'll be your academic advisor. And we'll get it done. Victoria can add a Star Trek element to the project down there. Who runs the best Star Trek rooms on the app?
Well, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it, but I mean, I can try.
Christian, you're the emerging star of this app. The emerging, the young Elvis. It's a young Elvis Presley. We're in 50s Elvis. He's a star. A star is born, everybody. A star. So the tragedy I've had, it's so depressing. My club deck was all screwed up, and I should have been patient. I should have waited, and I deleted the app and reinstalled it, and it finally worked. But I lost all of my audio files. I had like probably 100 songs and sound effects and movie things. So now I have to, and the YouTube thing is not working on the app anymore. It used to be able to, you got a custom effect from YouTube. It opened a pane in Club Deck, like a little window, opened like a YouTube thing, and it would just rip the audio from the YouTube right into Club Deck. That feature no longer works, so I'm hobbled here. I mean, this is like the Iron Man movie. Was that Iron Man 2 or 3, where he loses his armor and he has to rebuild his armor? That's me. I'm Tony Stark with no money. Yeah, I'm Tony Stark with no money and no armor, just my wits about.
Do you know he's supposed to, like, the character for the movie is supposed to have been based off Elon Musk?
I didn't know that.
I'm very surprised at the gentleman who wouldn't let me finish my thought. We could have had such a nice conversation. It would have been great.
Hey, buddy, this is Uncle Scott's revival hour. The spirits.
The revival hour. I like that.
We always need a Presbyterian. Do you know Marshall at Princeton Seminary, they actually sold shirts that said Presbyterians do it decently and in order?
No, but I want one.
Are there any snakes involved here?
No, snakes. There's not even... Look, if you raise your hand in a Presbyterian service, the minister stops and asks if you have a question.
Exactly.
They don't call us the Frozen Chosen for nothing. It is interesting, though. You look at, like, the significant, like, American theology in general, and Presbyterians are disproportionately significant. Like, I would say in North American theology, it's amazing because our numbers were disproportionate. Presbyterians are not the best missionaries, not the best evangelists, not the best, but as far as theological controversy, rhetoric, disputes, that's what Presbyterians do well. They fight things out. Christian, is your family, and you're a young person, is your family of any particular religious persuasion? Do you attend service?
We don't attend them often. We usually never go, but we have a church that we go to if we do go. Yeah.
Is it a particular denomination?
I'm not fully sure. It's just I know it's a Christian church.
Do they have like karaoke screens with guitars and stuff?
Yeah, like they have the little like music and stuff like that.
You get a smoke machine for like special holidays or no?
No. Well, maybe.
Do they have a youth group and stuff like that?
Yeah, they do. They got all of it.
Man, you should bring like your phone to youth group and just like stream the youth group, you know? Create a little content.
Yeah. I mean,
be the competitor to Ask a Christian.
Be the competitor to Ask the Christian. Well, I mean, I think what would be better is if I just pull up like an Xbox Live call and put it up to the mic, and then you guys will have content for the entire hour. I mean, have you guys heard those? Have you guys heard those voice chats? They're scary.
I have not heard the voice chat of what you speak.
Yeah, so there's a stereotype in which Xbox players and teenagers like say some really like vile stuff on the mic. So like I was trying to make the joke, like if I just put the Clubhouse mic up to the controller, maybe I could just like you guys would have content for the entire like hour.
It's all about the content, baby. It's all about the content.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. That's how Uncle Steve brought the nieces and nephews. And he doesn't just bring content. He is the content in and of itself.
He's a content machine.
He is. Did you see his workers' rights show yesterday?
I don't do the workers' rights show very often.
His workers' rights show.
Really in my wheelhouse. I pop in.
I'm not just shocked. I'm appalled.
Not today. Not yesterday. It was not.
I have never seen people waste time. How to waste your time and waste your life.
Room the other night, buddy. I was out cold by the time you were broadcast.
Marshall has run again. Where is Marshall going next?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but yeah, we.
I guess cold.
Like completely endless.
Marshall goes stage to stage.
Circular, isn't it, Arena?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to start because it will never end. I just wanted to share my impressions about the room yesterday. That I was not even shocked. I was stupefied completely by how people after this DEI, cancellation by Trump, how emboldened everybody became, and how Marshall was there. I think I agreed with Marshall most of the time. I don't remember anything. I was pretty angry, and I was almost like surprised in a way.
You're talking about Gary Shardia?
Yeah. Gary was not there to be fair.
He was leading.
So it was so bad that these guys, they just came up to the stage and basically showed their true colors, showed their true face. Maybe like the day before yesterday, they wouldn't be able to they wouldn't dare to speak like that. But yesterday they were giving just anecdotal, single examples from their experience 10 years ago or something like that, where a woman took the place and the whole plant blew up or something like that, as if like 99% of businesses are managed by actually men. And I have nothing against men, but it's just statistically speaking, they were just so unfair that there are so many catastrophes and so many mistakes in business and in industry. And we all know that most of them are managed by men. But they brought up some kind of weird examples from their personal life, and they were just talking about it incessantly. And also, like, the level of discussion was so horrible, so low. They were not able to conceptualize, to make an argument. They were just giving examples that would examples from their personal unique experiences, like a couple of people, just to show that women are not able to manage and to be the best. And the most important point was that when I was listening, I saw that the underlying assumption was that there is a dichotomy. Either it's like we are the best, and whoever is being discriminated, all the minorities, basically women, people of color, whoever, immigrants, I don't know who else they meant, they're not the best. So that was the dichotomy. And that is like everybody basically silently accepts the assumption that if you promote a woman, then she is not the best. And the whole room was just horrible. Marshall, what do you think? So,
Morel, did I get to personally? I can't remember if I congratulated you or not, but I want to congratulate you again. I'm really happy.
Thank you, Double Agent. To answer your question, I thought several people, as you said, showed their true colors about it. Dr. Articulate was there, and he made a pretty cogent point for what he believed. I unfortunately was not there for most of it. I came in like halfway or 3/4 of the way through, so I didn't hear the very beginning of it, but it sounds kind of like it was a shit show. As you heard me say yesterday, ideas can go scans and sometimes not do what they're supposed to, but, my friend Dr. Articulate couldn't get a job because he wasn't being treated equally, and DEI was the way for him to get treated equally. I want the guy to have a job. So, I, to be honest, don't think there was enough academic discussion about what that actually meant. There was a lot of, as you said, personal anecdotes, which are nice to listen to, right? But they're not the same as factual.
There's no academic studies done other than the McKinsey report, which is flawed.
I didn't know that.
You got plain out of the eye because of this stuff. It's evident to everybody with two eyes that it's gone too far, and it's being welcomed by the majority of the country because of that, Marshall. So I don't know. But do you think the DEI programs should remain?
Can you hold the thought, Marshall, 1 second?
I think private companies can do that. It's fine.
Marshall, anyway, I just want to raise. I'm not 100% certain, but Earth might be Edmonds. I'm not sure, but I have a strong suspicion it is. I just want to raise that would mean if it is, they're live streaming the room, they're recording and live streaming the room on other platforms. Who's that?
Double Agent, that little fucking bastard. That little fucking bastard. We'll have to create a new one. And a separate YouTube that you don't know about, Double Agent. You fucking rat bastard.
And I feel so much better. There'll be less stress on his heart too. I understand your word.
Well, at least we got enough evidence on Marshall Rankin.
He's recently turned his life around, and he's for the first time actively in my life, like real good.
Oh, wow.
He's been in my life. Yeah, he was addicted to me. Well, he was a meth addict and cooked it for like 20 years, and Mom kept us away while I was young, and then he's kind of been in my life the last 10 years, but I kept a distance because of his habits. But he's like doing amazing now, and he's 6 years sober. He just got a new job offer that'll get him like $1,000 a week.
I love when people say you're like 6 weeks sober, just got a job offer. It's like, how about you have a fucking job?
You don't have to.
So stop getting on this app and lying to people once in your life and just admit that you a bitch ass nigga. Is that too much for you to handle? Because the truth is too much.
No, you gotta know.
This is why you will always be listening to people like me and lying.
Solomon, is this in here, right?
You get on this stage and you just open your fucking dick up and
Okay, so we don't. Now look.
Look, we don't do crash outs like that. We do
what the
banging.
Fuck you talking about, Melissa? How long have you been
yeah,
alive?
Or
is he the Levitical priest
Excuse
guy?
me, I'm talking to you. So
he's
we only do mutually consented banging. King, do you consent to this?
I don't know. Look, that kid, he needs something. He needs God, man. I do not consent to whatever
You don't
the fuck
consent? Okay.
No.
So you're not going to bang on King today something? I'll bring you back up,
No,
but
he's not
he
gonna
doesn't
bang
consent.
him.
So.
Not bang him.
Whatever. You're not going to do it. He doesn't
That's
consent.
hilarious. I fucking love it. I fucking love these new rules. So yeah. At the end of the day,
Who the
don't
fuck
be
is
mad.
this?
It's all
She's
good, bro.
defending a pedophile. You're defending
We don't have any evidence. He doesn't consent to this, so you're going to
I don't
stop.
like time bangs. I just like to wing it. You know. I don't want.
Yo, it's crazy, Rich. You hear this man bearing false witness? Like, you hear him bearing false witness?
Bearing false witness. There
You never said anything about pedophilia.
Something.
Why would you do that, bro?
Right? You're not owning up.
Yeah, why would you lie? Why would you do
and
that,
I was
bro?
so
Why would you
bear false witness? To Chicago, and I was going to look for you with your stupid ass PTR, and I was going to come put
something. I will shoot you in your shit. I already
something. Listen, something. If you want,
our
children,
listen. I will shoot you in your shit.
Something. Calm down, bro. Like seriously, if you want help finding him, his given name is Solomon Umbasatika Lemota.
So Solomon already said that he does not consent to any banging today.
We like free
not gonna
banging.
do this. We're not gonna do this.
Move Rich down.
I would appreciate if people. I don't care if they weren't here when you were first here or whatever. If a moderator gives you some sort of direction in this space, please follow it. Something I understand that you got beef with King. Holla at him in the back.
Thank you.
Pause.
Which I told her.
And lady,
right.
I will respect.
I don't need help.
She's
right. I don't need help.
Like that.
Here's the thing.
I'm not listening to nobody because they got a green bean. I might
Here's
listen
the
to
thing.
you because you're respectful.
I understand something, and I understand you got beef with him. But he's not consenting to the crash out today on the stage.
Just like
we're gonna have a conversation.
Okay, I feel you.
And I'm not getting in the middle of that. But all I'm saying is that he's not consenting to a crash out with you right now.
Alright, I'm back. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was whipping these clown ass niggas' asses. The original point, King, is that these two scriptures are pointing out that the two scriptures that I brought out, which was from the Old Testament and the Tanakh, and then after that I was bringing you to John 1:6, where it literally says that John himself was sent from God. So that means that John himself was also in heaven to bear witness to the light, meaning Christ, being born. Remember, he was in the womb.
No, that's not the case. That's not the case. Maybe you didn't hear when I brought up Isaiah. I already brought up Isaiah 44:24.
Your Isaiah 44 scripture just corroborated.
No, it does not. It shows clearly. I already pointed it out. It shows clearly that it shows clearly that people are formed. None of us are eternal. And God makes very clear. If God makes very clear.
Argument
Stop, sugar belly. Get out the way. Your scripture. There's no problem. Just sit back and wait.
He's saying that the spirit of each person existed before creation.
So look,
He's saying that everyone's spirit existed before creation.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's trying to equate himself
King, I got it. Hey,
with
look,
his
King,
eternal God.
just focus on my voice.
Exactly.
King, focus on me. Listen to me. Don't do that scatterbrain shit. But
is this a suicide hotline?
You are projecting. Nobody's scatterbrained.
No, you're projecting. Your scripture. Listen, King. Your scripture. Your Isaiah scripture corroborates.
No, it does not. I'll show one more time why that's not the case. I'll read it one more time. So to show you that that's not the case. So one more time, everybody, because we all heard this already. Thus. This is Isaiah 44:24 for those who want to follow along. It says, "Thus says the Lord." So this is God directly, your Redeemer, who
check your back channel.
One more time, who formed you from the womb, meaning you are created. Forming is an act, meaning at some point in time you were not there and now you are. Who formed? And you can look at the tense of that word in the Hebrew. It is a meaning that it's an act of creation. Formed you from the womb. I am the Lord who made all things, not some things, all things. So if you are a thing, which we all are, we are all created. So this is a reiteration that God is making very clear that we are all created. We are not eternal. Now let's continue. I'm not done.
Well, actually, you cut me off.
I'm not done.
You
I'm reading
cut
the
me off,
scripture.
though. Now you just said that you're not done.
I'm reading scripture. Who made all things. Now catch this, y'all. Who alone, meaning none of us he uses. No creature, no angel, none of them. He said, who alone stretched out the heavens, who spread out the earth by myself. One more time, God reiterates that he doesn't use any of us, or there isn't anything that is by him or by his side that he creates with. So this is your scripture right here, Isaiah 44:24, that clearly lets us know that when none of us are eternal, none of us are used as partners with God. That is blasphemy. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, so the very scripture you're trying to run by, it literally says right there that I formed you in the womb, number one. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I knew thee, I formed you. Before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. Then after that, the next scripture that I was trying to show you was John 1, verses 5 and 6. And what that scripture says is this. 6. It says, and there was all right, so let's go to 5. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. That's you. You're in the darkness. You don't understand the light. You don't understand Christ. Verse 6. There was a man sent from God, whose name was Jesus. No, I'm sorry. Let me fix that. It says, whose name was John. So there's another man sent from God. Sent from God. Let's tie it all together real quick for the dummies in the back. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. Then after that, Ecclesiastes, the one I had in read 12:7, says that when you pass away, then you go back. Your spirit, your flesh goes back into the dirt.
What's up, Zach? How's it going?
Hey, I just want to tell you that this morning I made a new house on Clubhouse, and it's called Tao and Tanya. And you should probably see the invitation from this new house. And I think you can make a new room in the house. And what you think about that?
Hell yeah, that shit sound good. And we can invite tranny coons.
Hey, we can get the tranny coons up in here.
The tranny coons?
Yeah, we get a couple tranny coons up in here.
Tranny coons.
Where's my good morning?
Good morning. How are you, sir? What is your actual name? Because I don't want to call you a rabbi.
Call me Devante.
What's your real name? Because, we talk just about every single day. So, it'd probably be good if I knew your name was like Raymond or Charles or David or Peter.
Hey, we call this man Tranny Coon.
My real name's Alan.
Alan?
Yeah.
Sounds made up.
No, it's not.
I never met a black man named Alan.
He's not black. Are you black, Alan?
I'm brown, Alan.
He sounds black.
But you're born in America, right? What's your ethnicity?
The same way as I sound white. When I get on stage, they're like, hold up, are you white?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Zach, you seem to get targeted unfairly for some reason. But I think it's the PTR. I don't know what it is.
This picture is kind of fishy.
Yeah, that picture. Actually, that picture looks kind of stock, almost like generic white.
I did kind of edit it a little bit.
Wait, is that really you, Zach?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I always thought you were older than
I am old. I'm old. I'm getting older.
Older.
Phoenix, do you want to come up here and say anything?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna make a real Clubhouse profile, my real name, and
Adrian, do you want to open a room in the Dow and Danya page?
Wonderful time.
Good. You know, Phoenix works in a bookstore in Mecca.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Oh, Danny's here. Our minion is
See,
forming.
Danny is ready for the Dow and Tanya. Well, you should open a room in the Dow and Tanya house.
It's okay. I'm just
you
gonna.
can keep AdrianDittman.com, but
We
what's
can.
wrong with Dow and Danya?
We can do it tomorrow, but like to restart a new room is like a waste of time.
Let's do a meditation and down here today. Danny's here, Kathy's here, Phoenix is here. Let's start the morning off peaceful.
Okay, we're gonna limit all irascibility. Minion Toira Kabbalah. Ribono Shalom. Okay, change the title to Tao Tanya Minion Toira Kabbalah Zen. And we'll do a new room maybe later in the Tao Tanya Tao room. Danny, do you want to say anything before we begin our study? Do you want to give us the Shekhinah blessing?
Is that the Shekianu?
No, Shekhinah. It's like a dip for bread.
Shekhinah means tranquility.
Oh, okay.
It's like hummus, basically. It's called
I thought it meant
Shekhinah.
like God in a place.
No, Shekhinah. It's a little bit like Baba Ganoush.
I think that's Tchina.
Oh, that's tahini. Tahini. From the... Just kidding around. Shekhinah is like the feminine aspect of the deity. So, anyways.
It means tranquility.
Okay, tranquility. Perfect. That's exactly, basically. But it's like a second wife. You know, the Shekhinah comes on Shabbos. And so technically when you have what they call sexual intercourse, if you study sex magic or Kundalini awakening, you will see that there is a second woman in your life, if you're a man. That second woman is the Shekhinah. And that's why I say it's a little bit like hummus and Baba Ganoush. It comes with the main entree. You see what I'm saying?
Here's a relationship booster that is guaranteed to work. Every time your spouse or lover says something stupid, make your eyes light up as if you just heard something brilliant.
Yeah, that would be like biofeedback to stupidity. I mean, if you're with a moron, your eyes are probably wide awake all the time. You're like in a constant state of like,
That is actually a quote from Rumi.
Wow. So I think the name Rumi is a little bit like the wisdom of Rumi creates more room or spaciousness or consciousness expansion. I think that's, why we call him Rumi, but I bet you that wasn't his name.
His name was Jalaluddin.
Yeah, so it creates like a room in the house. Keegan, welcome. We need a white boy, or what's it called? A token white person, a token white Christian. If you could come up.
Passion.
We need a tokenization. We need to tokenize you, Keegan. Please participate and say something.
With passion, pray. With passion, work. With passion, make love. With passion, eat and drink and dance and be on Clubhouse. Why look like a dead fish in this I fucked up. Why look like a dead fish in this ocean of God? Speaking of dead fish.
Welcome, Keegan, to the room. Pleasant greetings to you. May you have a joyful and equilibrated day.
Appreciate you, and vice versa.
You know, the
Is that a curse that you just sent to me?
No, it means God willing.
Do you think God willing is a double-edged sword or a double entendre?
Because God wills a lot.
Are you guys aware of how much religiosity is built into the language of Arabic? That's a serious question. Like, do you know how to say "How are you? I'm good" in Arabic? Kif halak. And then what is the answer? Alhamdulillah. But do you know what that means, Adrian, Keegan, or Danny? Keegan would be especially interested in this information, I believe. What is Kif halak? Kif halak, does that literally mean "How are you"?
Kif, it means how. Halak means your situation. So how is your situation?
Right, because when they're saying how, they say Kif halak, how are you? And then alhamdulillah, that basically means in the hand of God, right?
No, it's praise to God.
Praise to God. So how are you doing? How are you doing? It would be like this in English, Keegan. It would be like, I'd be like, "What's up, bro?" And you would say, "Praise God." And I would say, "How are you?" And you'd be like, "Praise God." And I'd say, "What's new?" And you're like, "Praise God." So it's just kind of interesting, like the little bit that I learned about Arabic is like, religion is really built into the language.
Well, same with English. Look at you can do an English analysis and see it's all baked into English as well. Look at the word Allah. All. So it's all in the words, and that's
bubonics as well.
Yeah, bubonic, abonic.
Yeah, because they'd be like, "What's up, nigga?" The answer is like, "I'm chilling." Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No hard R's in this house.
Sorry.
The word kafir, which means walaikum salam. The word kafir, which means someone who is not a Muslim, but it also means someone who covers the truth. So in English, the word cover means to cover something. The root for it is Arabic, which means kafir, which means someone who covers the truth.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, we can read from a glossary if you'd like. Hermes, welcome to the room. This is the Tao Danya Minyan Toira Kabbalah Zen study room where we try to limit all irascibility and focus and read a book for at least 10 minutes, which is more than your average 6-second dopamine time span.
Book, we lost Keegan.
I just came from another universe. It was pretty cool.
You said the dirty B word and Keegan left.
So I do have another burner account going on this app, and I've been sitting in on many rooms and listening to many conversations.
I'm not going to dox you, but I already.
How did you know? How'd you know?
I have a guess.
You get
I'll save it for a non-recorded space.
So
You already doxed me.
So I got targeted this morning.
That was an accident.
You had no issue doxing me.
It was an accident. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point is, double agent, he knew. I don't know how he knew, but I was tracking Marshall Rankin, and Marshall was bouncing like an Adderall addict from room to room to room to room, getting his dopamine. So basically what I'm saying is I'm like a dopamine tracker, and it's just...
Dopamine Magoo.
You know,
You're dopamine Magoo.
I'm in the dopamine cartel. That's what I heard that term yesterday, dopamine cartel. But the point is, you know, I'm tracking Marshall Rankin, and I'm cross-platforming. It's called rhino hunting. And basically, Marshall Rankin is the most disingenuous motherfucker I've ever heard on this app to constantly say that he works in Republican politics when he is just he absolutely hates everything that Republicanism or Republican politics, believes in. But the point is, that's not why we are here gathered today. I just merely wanted to bring up the point that my burner account was detected by Double Agent, which is pretty amazing because he has that name, Double Agent, and he's always very, observant, I suppose. But the fact that he could detect, well, he was watching my YouTube, and then he found out that way. So it's like,
well, that's the only way. You go into the rooms and you think, and then you look at all the people in the audience and you think, I know all of these people, or if I don't know them, they're not Edmund. And then you look at one or two people and you're like, this could be Edmund. And then one of them leaves and you're like, all right, the recording's still going. It's probably that one.
But that's you, that's your analysis. But anyways, the whole point is, it's like, if I want to go undetected with new burners, it's like I can't live stream, but like I could set up a whole different network where nothing is connected, and they would make it even more difficult. But since I'm the most suspicious person, that nobody really has any other concern about anybody recording a room except for Adrian Dittman, which I think is pretty funny. And what that tells, well, first of all, what everybody talks about is completely irascible and completely fucking stupid. Like, I was sitting in Jeff's room listening to that conversation, and it's just the dumbest conversation, and it's fine. I
know it's bad.
I'm not saying that it's like not a regular conversation. I'm just saying that in terms of like how to optimize your life, there's no optimization going on by listening to anything like that. But that's just one example. We could go into chillism, we could go into a dozen other rooms, and it's just appalling at the way in which we're going about just talking or deciding on why we're coming here to talk about very random, mundane, irascible things. And it's like, if that's really how we communicate, is anybody on this app a professional? Like, can't people just organize a business and use this as the launching pad and home base for an actual organization or a business of people that can work together politely and not be irascible and not waste anybody's time? Like, I was at the gym yesterday and I'm sitting there doing, stretching and breathing, and people are just gabbing it up, chatting. And the thing is, it's like, I understand why they're doing it, because they're all dopamining. And here on this app, we're all dopamining. So we're really just birds chirping. I'm just saying, like, intelligence is transcendent above birds chirping. It's like the sun and the tree. It's like creating an environment for the chirping, and which is thus Clown House. So I'm just saying, I guess if you really want to be successful, you have to create a chirp, a birdhouse, basically. That would be a good name for a clubhouse room. But yeah, Zach, let's do a room in your new house. And I really encourage you to really engage with Toira, because you do get the comprehension aspect. And, you could be a good sage, a good scholar. And, if you don't think that this information isn't transformational or profound, I mean, you're just a bird chirping in a birdhouse like everybody else. But to me, to like engage in that Havruta or that twin flame study, wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered to study, the presence will be. So if you want to be with the presence, which is technically the Shekhinah, if you want to activate the presence, it is very much like Hermetic mysticism. But the only way to do it is through the words. And so that's the big thing, is saying the words.
Yeah, I can teach you.
Yeah, saying the words out loud is important. I read silently all the time, and it's still profound, but, there's something profound about smoking a joint, having a glass of red wine, and reading profound words out loud. And then if you record it and you listen to the playback, you have basically a recording of what you could call like a Lucy in the Skies, with diamonds type recording. I mean,
and don't forget, you also need a big booty.
That comes through accessing the knowledge and the wisdom. Because when you see a beautiful puta in the streets, you know, and you know the gift of gab and you can speak with incredible clarity and great communication, that puta will love your voice. So, Zach, you need to work not just with the words, but in the way in which you deliver them and the way in which you speak with other people. So, I don't know, that's my opinion. But I'm not going to waste my time with irascibility, you know? If you were the organizer of a conference call, and you actually have goals and objectives, you don't waste your time. You know, and that's what people are doing on this app. They're just wasting their time. It's like Chris has a YouTube account called How to Waste Your Time. And that's what this app does. It's so juvenile, you know, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, because you know I'm just not, and it's just I'm trying to give an analysis of the way that I observe people's behavior and what they're thinking and what they're saying on this app. It's very superficial and it's all vanity basically. And you ever see the movie The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino where he's laughing? He says, "Vanity, definitely my favorite sin." You know, like vanity really is the most ridiculous of trespasses, if you want to call it that. Anyways, Hermes, Phoenix, what are you guys doing today? If you'd like, I can read some poetry to you. But, you know, this is my morning meditation.
I'm working, but no customers today, so.
What kind of customers do you have, Phoenix? What kind of work you do?
I sell books, I print, I do designs, do art. That's my favorite part.
Oh, nice. I'm in the process of still moving, just a whole bunch of little stuff. The movers are coming tomorrow to get the big stuff. Hey, I slept in the new house last night for the first time, and it felt so good.
Congrats. You know what you should try sometime is go to sleep with earplugs in and see how that affects the quality of your sleep. Because you really do hear a lot less with earplugs in.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, moving is...
Yeah, I bought an AirPods, and it was like 1,000 real, like maybe $250. And maybe 1 week, and one of them didn't work. It was scam. It was the Sony company, actually. So I will complain to their website.
Hermes, I was going to tell you, it took me like maybe 4 months to move out of this apartment one time. You know, load after load after load after load.
I know, right?
Finally,
I'm doing it in a month, less than a month, because I have to be out of here on the 1st of Feb.
Oh. Yeah. It's when you get the heavy movers, finally I got the heavy movers for like the couch, the mattress, like, yeah, I mean, oof, like it's brutal, especially if you live on like a second floor walk up. Oh man, it's like, and movers are expensive. You're looking at like $800 minimum, you know?
Oh, no, not here, dude. We got a bunch of Mexicans.
Well, I mean, 800 if you go through like a company that advertises, you know, but if you can, right. Like the guys I met, I saw them moving somebody out and I was like, "Hey, well, let me get your number. I need you guys." And they cut me a decent deal, but these commercial movers, man, wow. They get you when you know, they get you.
Are the Mexicans the same as the Mayans?
Yeah, actually, yes. A Mexican is technically half Mayan.
Yeah, there's indigenous, and like if you're
like
not,
Pocahontas.
you know, if
No. The Mayans were like astrologers and scientists.
Yeah.
Pocahontas was just a whore.
Pocahontas was a whore?
I don't talk about her like that.
Why do you think she was a whore?
Well,
I don't know anything really about her. She probably just lived a pretty simple life, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, she got married to that guy, right? And then she went back to England with him. She had sort of a sad life at the end because she was living as an aristocrat in England, but she was not happy because that was not what she was familiar with.
are you really an aristocrat when you're like the queen of a mud hut?
Yeah.
Bullshit. I bet if she had any money, it probably all came through the husband. I mean, that or notoriety, I guess. Maybe she sold books or something.
Well, remember, she was the daughter of the chief.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. Like, there was no real.
Tarzan is similar, but it is the opposite. Like a man from Europe, I think, that immigrated to live with the gorillas.
Oh, Jane
And
Goodall.
I was so happy, happier than ever.
You talking about Jane
The
Goodall?
whole family owned the entire state of New York.
The Tarzan?
No, he's talking about Pocahontas' father. Anyways, Hermes, good luck on your move. You know, when you fucking finally shut that door, may a glorious new one open for you.
Oh yeah, man, I'm so freaking sore, my body, from picking shit up.
Yeah. Dude, just doing landscaping. I've like come back, it like takes days to recover. Moving, going to the gym and just like doing a workout for 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour, like that is like what keeps you stabilized. But like when you do really intense things and you do all these movements that you don't normally do, that's when you're really like fragile, and it's like it's best to maintain. You have to have a minimum of exercise. Phoenix, do you work from home?
Yeah, sometimes if I have something to do in home, I will do it in home, and then I will go to my job.
You can read English, right?
Phoenix, are you married?
I read books. I read English books.
Are you married, Phoenix?
No, I'm gay.
Yeah. So, dude.
I think
that's okay.
I think he's using
you
it.
can still be my friend.
Hermes, I think
care that you're gay.
I think he's trolling you, Hermes. I think he says he's gay, but he's really saying he's just happy.
No, he is. Now I remember because Phoenix told me that he was gay like a year ago, and he was being serious.
I don't think so. Phoenix, you're not like an actual. You're not. I would be willing to bet, Hermes, that Phoenix doesn't even engage in any sexual practices whatsoever.
Yeah,
because he's single. He's single though. But
I told you.
If he had his lover boyfriend, I think Phoenix is the bottom.
So
I tried to make a room in Tao and Tanya, and nobody came.
Yeah. Nobody's interested in it. It takes two to tango. You got to study.
Well, you didn't even come.
Well, I'm sitting here having a conversation with Hermes and Phoenix.
Right, fair enough.
Phoenix was telling us he's gay, but he doesn't do anything physical with his gayness because it's haram. So does that mean he's really gay?
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what Phoenix just said.
Yeah, I don't feel attracted to women sexually, and I want to spend my life with a man, so I think I'm gay.
Where do you live? Do you live in like Iraq?
Mecca.
I live in Mecca.
Oh, you live in Mecca. What a blessing. Baruch
Yeah, but it's crowded as fuck.
It's what? It's crowded, and is it? I bet it's expensive, huh? Do you get like special taxes?
It is expensive to buy land, yes, but other things is like the same prices as everywhere.
You live in Mecca, but do they? It's like a normal city. They have like schools and buses.
Phoenix, I was gonna ask you. You know, at the
Yeah, the mosque is at the center, but the city is bigger than the mosque.
Phoenix, you know, at that Grand Mosque, I see they have these guys on YouTube that like take the water, you know, and they have these squeegees and they got to squeegee the whole fucking marble flooring. Why didn't those numbskulls build fucking drainage into the mosque? You got hundreds of people running around squeegeeing everything. Did they fucking know plumbing over there?
I don't know, but one time the cranes of the building, like they are doing expansion, and the crane of the buildings fall down and killed a lot of people. And the company that is doing the expansion is the Bin Laden company.
Yeah.
So the king made them like did a lot of like punishment to them that they cannot work anymore for maybe 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really difficult. It's really difficult to like do something in Mecca because all the time people are there. Only in COVID-19 it was empty. That's the only time.
Phoenix, why don't you move to the United States so you can practice what you want to practice?
Yeah, but I know that if people come to the United States, they will tell them to go back to their countries.
Well, not if you marry a wealthy gay Elon Musk.
I don't like Elon Musk.
You don't like Adrian Dittman?
No, I like you, of course. I don't like Elon Musk.
Well, he's the fake Adrian Dittman. I'm the real Adrian Dittman.
Okay.
And Hermes is also Adrian Dittman. Phoenix, would you change your PTR to say I am Adrian Dittman?
No, until like you become my teacher.
Okay, well, if you'd like, I can just read a brief poem for a few minutes, and then we can take a breathing exercise, and culminate this room in joy and in harmony and tranquility.
Okay.
Sounds good, Hermes? Are you gonna stick around for the poem reading?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna stay on mute because I'm still moving. But while I'm moving, I can listen for sure. Just one last thing. I bought a brand new bed, Chester drawers and all that other stuff. The whole bedroom suite, new mattresses, new sheets, comforters, everything brand new, right? So now I gotta christen it. I gotta yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta break it in.
Well, you also have to christen your place as well, if you have any sage.
Oh, dude, do you want to christen my place? Like, what I can do is I can, put you on speaker, and you can bless my house.
Yeah, we could do that. We can even use ChatGPT for that. Yeah, I was gonna use like ChatGPT to try to write some powerful consciousness expansion hypnosis documents, like utilizing outer space and like astrology to create like scripts, and then read what ChatGPT says and like call them like LSD or DMT consciousness expansion trips utilizing ChatGPT. But like going with keywords, I mean, you don't need, I'm just saying like to use those chemical names for like YouTube videos. I'm not saying like you even need to do those chemicals. I'm just saying it would be interesting to use those names in the YouTube video, but not in the ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT may not use those keywords. But anyways, we're going to read Marcus Aurelius. So we're just going to do a 10-minute meditation. I changed the title to Marcus Aurelius 10-Minute Meditation. This is Adrian Dittman. We have other listeners on X as well as YouTube. Thank you for being here. Michael. We're also creating a podcast for... Oh, Zach is messaging me. And that was 13 minutes ago. So we'll finish this off and then we'll... I don't know if Zach is available. We could see. But anyways... Oh, hey, Zach. So, yeah, I'm going to read Marcus Aurelius for 10 minutes and then I'm going to close this room. And then we can go to your room and do a Tao Tanya crisscross reading.
I'm going to jiu-jitsu soon.
Oh.
We can do it later.
Do you lift weights?
No, I need to lift weights.
Damn. Dude, how the fuck do you not lift weights?
No, I need to do that.
Dude, jiu-jitsu's great, but like there's no equivalency to like lifting weights. I mean,
I do a little bit of lifting weights, but not as often as the jiu-jitsu and the yoga.
Oh, wow.
But I need to
you gotta lift the weights because if not, you'll have birchiness all your life.
I don't know about that, but like I just say like how can you call yourself a real man if you're not Superman? And Superman is made of steel. And the only way to make your body strong is through weights. I mean, there is something about lifting weights which definitely is a life-giving thing because I think your brain, when you're lifting weights, creates a lot of chemicals that it would be unable to create otherwise. So it is like a trickle-down effect. And I would really encourage you to at least get a kettlebell so you can do, biceps and squats and triceps.
All right. Maybe I'll lift some weights.
A kettlebell, a 25-pound kettlebell and a 20-pound kettlebell, dude, you'll add like 10 years to your life with a fucking kettlebell. More kettlebell. More kettlebell. I mean, Zach, have you ever been to the gym and seen an F-word, N-word lifting weights?
Yes.
Well, that means that F-word, N-word is doing something that you don't even do. So, and he's an F-word, N-word. What does that make you?
Good point.
Okay, this is book number 6. This is Marcus Aurelius. So this is your guided morning meditation, rehypnosis, dehypnosis. Take the deepest breath of the day through your nose. Hold it for 10 seconds. The substance of the universe is obedient and compliant, and the reason which governs it has in itself no cause for doing evil. For it has no malice, nor does it do evil to anything, nor is anything harmed by it. But all things are made and perfected according to this reason. Let it make no difference to thee whether thou art cold or warm, if thou art doing thy duty, and whether thou art drowsy or satisfied with sleep, and whether ill spoken of or praised, and whether dying or doing something else. For it is one of the acts of life, this act by which we die. It is sufficient then in this act also to do well what we have in hand. Look within. Let neither the peculiar quality of anything, nor its value escape thee. All existing things soon change, and they will either be reduced to vapor, if indeed all substance is one, or they will be dispersed. The reason which governs knows what its own disposition is, and what it does, and on what material it works. The best way of avenging thyself is not to become like the wrongdoer. Take pleasure in one thing and rest in it, in passing from one social act to another social act, thinking of God. The ruling principle is that which rouses and turns itself, and while it makes itself such as it is and such as it wills to be, it also makes everything which happens appear to itself to be such as it wills. In conformity to the nature of the universe, every single thing is accomplished. For certainly it is not in conformity to any other nature of that which thing is accomplished, either a nature which externally comprehends this, or a nature which is comprehended within this nature, or a nature external and independent of this. The universe is either a confusion and a mutual involution of things and a dispersion, or it is unity and order and providence. If then it is the former, why do I desire to tarry in a fortuitous combination of things in such a disorder? And why do I care about anything else than how I shall at last become earth? And why am I disturbed? For the dispersion of my elements will happen whatever I do. But if the other supposition is true, I venerate, and I am firm, and I trust in him who governs. When thou hast been compelled by circumstances to be disturbed in a manner, quickly return to thyself, and do not continue out of tune longer than the compulsion lasts, for thou wilt have more mastery over the harmony by continually recurring to it. If thou hadst a stepmother and a mother at the same time, thou wouldst be dutiful to thy stepmother, but still thou wouldst constantly return to thy mother. Let the court and philosophy now be to thee stepmother and mother. Return to philosophy frequently, and repose in her, through whom what thou meetest with in the court appears to thee tolerable, and thou appearest tolerable in the court. When we have meat before us in such eatables, we receive the impression that this is the dead body of a fish, and this is the dead body of a bird or of a pig, and again that this Falernian is only a little grape juice, and this purple robe some sheep's wool dyed with the blood of a shellfish. Such then are these impressions, and they reach the things themselves and penetrate them, and so we see what kind of things they are. Just in the same way ought we to act all through life. And where there are things which appear most worthy of our approbation, we ought to lay them bare and look at the worthlessness and strip them of all the words by which they are exalted. For outward show is a wonderful perverter of the reason, and when thou art most sure that thou art employed about things worth thy pains, it is then that it cheats thee most. Consider then what Crates says of Xenocrates himself. Most of the things which the multitude admire are referred to objects of the most general kind, those which are held together by cohesion or natural organization, such as stones, wood, fig trees, vines, olives. But those which are admired by men who are a little more reasonable are referred to the things which are held together by a living principle, as flocks, herds. Those which are admired by men who are still more instructed are the things which are held together by a rational soul, not, however, a universal soul, but rational so far as it is a soul skilled in some art or expert in some other way, or simply rational so far as it possesses a number of slaves. But he who values rational soul, a soul universal and fitted for political life, regards nothing else except this, and above all things he keeps his soul in a condition and in an activity conformable to reason and social life, and he cooperates to this end with those who are of the same kind as himself. Some things are hurrying into existence, and others are hurrying out of it, and of that which is coming into existence, part is already extinguished. Motions and changes are continually renewing the world, just as the uninterrupted course of time is always renewing the infinite duration of ages. In this flowing stream, then, on which there is no abiding, what is there of the things which hurry by, on which a man would set a high price? It would be just as if a man should fall in love with one of the sparrows which fly by, but it has already passed out of sight. Something of this kind is the very life of every man, like the exaltation of the blood and the respiration of the air. For such as it is to have once drawn in the air and to have given it back, which we do every moment, just the same as it is with the whole respiratory power, which thou didst receive at thy birth yesterday and the day before, to give it back to the element from which thou didst first draw it. Neither is transpiration as in plants a thing to be valued, nor respiration as in domesticated animals and wild beasts, nor the receiving of impressions by the appearances of things, nor being moved by desires as puppets by strings, nor assembling in herds, nor being nourished by food, for this is just like the act of separating and parting with the useless part of our food. What then is worth being valued? To be received with clapping of hands? No. Neither must we value the clapping of tongues, for the praise which comes from the many is a clapping of tongues. Suppose then that thou hast given up this worthless thing called fame, what remains that is worth valuing? This, in my opinion, to move thyself and to restrain thyself in conformity to thy proper constitution, to which end both all employments and arts lead. For every art aims at this, that the thing which has been made should be adapted to the work for which it has been made, and both the vine planter who looks after the vine and the horse breaker and he who trains the dog seek this end. But the education and the teaching of youth aim at something. In this then is the value of the education and the teaching. And if this is well, thou wilt not seek anything else. Wilt thou not cease to value many other things too? Then thou wilt be neither free nor sufficient for thy own happiness, nor without passion, for of necessity thou must be envious, jealous, and suspicious of those who can take away those things, and plot against those who have that which is valued by thee. Of necessity a man must be altogether in a state of perturbation who wants any of these things, and besides he must often find fault with the gods. But to reverence and honor thy own mind will make thee content with thyself, and in harmony with society, and in agreement with the gods, that is, praising all that they give and have ordered. Above, below, all around are the movements of the elements, but the motion of virtue is in none of these. It is something more divine, and advancing by a way hardly observed, it goes happily on its road. How strangely men act! They will not praise those who are living at the same time and living with themselves, but to be themselves praised by posterity, by those whom they have never seen or ever will see. This they've set much value on. But this is very much the same as if thou shouldst be grieved, because those who have lived before thee did not praise thee. If a thing is difficult to be accomplished by thyself, do not think that it is impossible for man, but if anything is possible for man and conformable to his nature, think that this can be attained by thyself too. In the gymnastic exercises, suppose that a man has torn thee with his nails, and by dashing against thy head has inflicted a wound. Well, we neither show any signs of vexation, nor are we offended, nor do we suspect him afterwards as a treacherous fellow, and yet we are on our guard against him, not however as an enemy, nor yet with suspicion, but we quietly get out of his way. Something like this let thy behavior be in all the other parts of life. Let us overlook many things in those who are like antagonists in the gymnasium, for it is in our power, as I said, to get out of the way and to have no suspicion, nor hatred. If any man is able to convince me and show me that I do not think or act rightly, I will gladly change, for I seek the truth by which no man was ever injured, but he is injured who abides in his error and ignorance. I do my duty, other things trouble me not, for they are either things without life, or things without reason, or things that have rambled and know not the way. As to the animals which have no reason, and generally all things and objects do thou, since thou hast reason and they have none, make use of them with a generous and liberal spirit. But towards human beings, as they have reason, behave in a social spirit, and on all occasions call on the gods, and do not perplex thyself about the length of time in which thou shalt do this, for even 3 hours no so spent are sufficient. Alexander the Macedonian and his groom by death were brought to the same state, for either they were received among the same seminal principles of the universe, or they were alike dispersed among the atoms. Consider how many things in the same indivisible time take place in each of us, things which concern the body and things which concern the soul, and so thou wilt not wonder if many more things, or rather all things which come into existence, and that which is the one and all, which we call cosmos, exist in it at the same time. If any man should propose to thee the question how the name Antoninus is written, Wouldst thou with a straining of the voice utter each letter? What then if thou grow angry, wilt thou be angry too? Wilt thou not go on with composure and number every letter? Just so then in this life also remember that every duty is made up of certain parts. These it is thy duty to observe, and without being disturbed or showing anger towards those who are angry with thee, to go on thy way and finish that which is set before thee. How cruel it is not to allow men to strive after the things which appear to them to be suitable to their nature and profitable. And yet in a manner thou dost not allow them to do this, when thou art vexed because they do wrong, for they are certainly moved towards things because they suppose them to be suitable to their nature and profitable to them. But it is not so. Teach them then, and show them without being angry. Death is a cessation of the impressions through the senses, and of the pulling of the strings which move the appetites, and of the discursive movements of the thoughts, and of the service to the flesh. It is a shame for the soul to be first to give way in this life, when thy body does not give way. Take care that thou art not made into a Caesar, that thou art not dyed with this dye, for such things happen. Keep thyself simple, good, pure, serious, free from affectation, a friend of justice, a worshipper of the gods, kind, affectionate, strenuous in all proper acts. Strive to continue to be such a philosophy wish to make thee. Reverence the gods and help men. Short is life. There is only one fruit of this terrene life, a pious disposition and social acts. To everything is a disciple of Antoninus. Remember his constancy in every act which was conformable to reason, and his evenness in all things, and his piety, and the serenity of his countenance, all his sweetness, and his disregard of empty fame, and his efforts to understand things, and how he would never let anything pass without having first most carefully examined it and clearly understood it, and how he bore with those who blamed him unjustly without blaming them in return, how he did nothing in a hurry, and how he listened not to calumnies, and how exact an examiner of manners and actions he was, and not given to reproach people, nor timid, nor suspicious, nor a sophist, and with how little he was satisfied, such as lodging, bed, dress, food, servants, and how laborious, patient, and how he was able, on account of his sparing diet, to hold out to the evening, not even requiring to relieve himself by any evacuations, except at the usual hour, and his firmness and uniformity in his friendships, and how he tolerated freedom of speech in those who opposed his opinions, and the pleasure that he had when any man showed him anything better, and how religious he was without superstition. Imitate all this, that thou mayest have as good a conscience when thy last hour comes as he had. Return to thy sober senses and call thyself back, and when thou hast roused thyself from sleep and hast perceived that they were only dreams which troubled thee, now in thy waking hours look at these, the things about thee, as thou didst look at those, the dreams. They consist of a little body and a soul. Now to this little body all things are indifferent, for it is not able to perceive differences, but to the understanding those things only are indifferent which are not the works of its own activity. But whatever things are the works of its own activity, all these are in its power, and of these, however, only those which are done with reference to the present. For as to the future and the past activities of the mind, even these are for the present indifferent. Neither the labor which the hand does, nor that of the foot is contrary to nature, so long as the foot does the foot's work, and the hand the hand's, so that neither to a man is his labor contrary to nature, so long as it does the things of a man. But if the labor is not contrary to his nature, neither is it an evil to him. How many pleasures have been enjoyed by the robbers, patricides, tyrants! Dost thou not see how the handicraftsmen accommodates themselves up to a certain point to those who are not skilled in their craft? Nevertheless, they cling to the reason, the principles of their art, and do not endure to depart from it. Is it not strange if the architect and the physician shall have more respect to the reason, the principles of their own arts, than man to his own reason, which is common to him and the gods? Asia, Europe, the corners of the universe, all the sea a drop in the universe. Athos, a little clod of the universe, all the present time is a point in eternity. All things are little, changeable, perishable. All things come from thence, from that universal ruling power, either directly proceeding or by way of sequence. Accordingly, the lion's gaping jaws, and that which is poisonous, and every harmful thing, as a thorn, as mud, are after products of the grand and beautiful. Do not then imagine that they are of another kind from that which thou dost venerate, but form a just opinion of the source of all. He who has seen present things has seen all, both everything which has taken place from all eternity and everything which will be for time without end, for all things are of one kin and of one form. Frequently consider the connexion of all things in the universe and the relation to one another, for in a manner all things are implicated with one another, and all in this way are friendly to one another. For one thing comes in order after another, and this by virtue of the active movement and mutual conspiration and the unity of the substance. Adapt thyself to the things with which thy lot has been cast, and the men among whom thou hast received thy portion, love them, but do it truly, sincerely. Every instrument, tool, vessel, as if it does that for which it has been made as well, and yet he who made it is not there. But in the things which are held together by nature, there is within, and there abides in them the power which made them. Wherefore the more is it fit to reverence this power, and to think that if thou dost live, and act according to its will, everything in thee is in conformity to intelligence. And thus also in the universe the things which belong to it are in conformity to intelligence. Okay, that's it. Getting tongue-tied. Okay, that's a reading. Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. Okay, Hermes Phoenix, Michael, YouTubers, thank you for listening. It's my hour of power. Hermes Phoenix, anything you want to say before I depart?
Yeah, I want to just let you know that te amo, hermano.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother.
Okay, likewise, Phoenix, thanks for coming. And again, remember, it takes two to tango. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. That was so beautiful.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Okay, have a great day, and God bless. Take care, Phoenix. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks, Michael. I'm going to end this X room. Bye-bye.
If you compare Lugano with, I don't know, Bern or Geneva or those cities, it's not the same. How do you say Geneva? I don't know how to call that city. Yeah. Geneva, yeah, it's probably the most developed city. Like, if you want to get a job there, it's way better than Lugano in Geneva. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I am in Zurich.
Wherever from, it's very important. She knows if we fuck chickens. That's about it.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, Adrian is here. Adrian.
Oh, wow, you said really?
Come on stage, Adrian.
Hey, sister.
Hey, sister. Hi, sisters. How's the Yaya sisterhood going this morning?
Why do you call him sister?
It's like an inside joke.
Yeah.
Actually, because I have a sister, so like I often say sister. She says brother. So I'm just being nice with the F words on the app by saying, "Hi, sister."
With a faggot?
I didn't say the F word. I don't
Wait,
say.
have you become a faggot all of a sudden?
I don't say the F word or the N word.
Just be careful. She only has like 3 words: chicken, fag, and that's it.
Well, I came to the conclusion that F word, N word are the 2 most egregious words in our cultural society today.
Really? You think so?
Definitely the most verboten words, most banned words.
Why?
F word, N word. Can you think of a third word which is even more egregious than F word, N word?
K word.
Yeah, but that's limited to a very small population of the overall population.
What's the K word, guys? I know that you don't want to say it, but I don't know what's
I said it, kite.
You say kite?
But I don't know. I think that.
What did I just come into? Whoa, Issa, what did you just say?
No, we're talking about the words that supposedly are bad words.
So that's only 3.
Yeah, and then Adrian was talking about nigga and faggot.
I don't say the N word. I don't say the F word. I don't say the K word. And I think K word can actually have one more additional, which I don't even want to say, but you could say it. You could spell it with a C word.
Kite?
Yes, sister, you said it.
But yes, cunt is not even really a bad word. I mean, it depends where in the geography you are. It's the same thing with the N word and the K word and all these other words. Is that it only affects really the snowflake USA population. And it's like people have become very sensitive to words. And it's not even that.
I agree with some of it, but not all of it.
It's very different if you are using the word kind of like generally or to describe something or whatever, than actually call someone these words.
You used it intentionally, and there's a reason you use that word. You know what you're doing. You don't go, you know what I mean.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm trying to explain that it's an opinion, obviously, and all.
So, my friend says he doesn't say nigger, but he wrote a song.
This is the third time
nigger is.
where I've been asked would I use that word now.
Why not?
All I know is when I hear that word, I know that Adrian can't be recording.
Nigger.
Because he knows he'll get kicked out. So
it doesn't upset me. I've heard millions of songs with it. It doesn't bug me. It's just I won't use it.
Yo,
Adrian,
there's not a lot of songs that use the hard R though. You know, they say the A.
No, that's.
Listen, I don't use the word simply because it's not like part of the language that I have learned to speak. So it's not like it doesn't come like naturally, let's say. But I am not necessarily afraid of words. It's just absurd that people, I mean, I've always said that offense is only ever taken, never given. And so
he has always said that.
Huh? What?
I said, yes, she has always said that.
Yeah. And just the same way that I will not go into a meeting and call my boss stupid because I will get fired. Of course, you will have certain decorum, you know, and not try to insult people in different contexts. But it's not because I am not being allowed to use the word. It's because I choose to be respectful and I like to be liked. So if you're going to insult people wherever you go, then yeah, you're just going to end up on your own, and that's a very bad of navigating life. But it's not because somebody tells me, oh yeah, well, you're not allowed to say the words. Like,
Why is this even a subject now? We were talking about gluten and.
Okay, if you don't like it, you can leave, but you're not going to dictate what happens in this room.
Because I called somebody my sister.
It started with that. That's the funny part, and it dragged into that.
Again, if you don't feel comfortable, you're free to leave, okay?
Just you. No one else.
What?
It's really sad. I'm not mad. There's nothing I can do. I can leave. It's fine. Boot me out, but you're the problem.
Alright, then if you have a problem with me, you can leave.
I don't have a problem with you, but it's you are that mindset is the problem with this world right now.
No, it's not.
You know that, right?
How is it that my mindset is the problem with the world?
Because
I'm not your faggotry.
And as long as I'm not at my job and tell my boss that, it's fine. No, you should feel like that at all times. That's a real
Sisters, please let me interrupt. Let us embrace our sister and hug Valen. Let us hug Valen, sisters. Let's embrace him in love.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you, sisters. That is so gracious of you all. Let us all take a deep breath, the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds, only friends. I say friends for life.
Yes, for life.
I am a flower.
I am a problem.
Oh, that is...
Don't just be the problem. Don't be a part of the problem. Be the problem.
Be the problem.
You know who this guy sounds like? He sounds like Anthony. Andrew Meyer's friend.
Oh, no. No, I think Anthony was more manly.
I've been going into X Spaces with Andrew Meyer, and they kick me. Like, no questions asked.
Nice to you already?
It's something about my Adrian Dittman X accounts that they hate, and so they kick all my Adrian accounts immediately.
But do they know it's you already?
No, I bet you they don't. Maybe, but Andrew Myers is always a speaker on the stage, and they kick me. So it's he's connected to whoever's organizing the rooms.
It's his rooms.
It's not his per se. I don't think he's the creator of the room. I think he's joining a room.
Who is creating the rooms?
You'd have to go to his profile to see who he's connected to. I can't recall. I just see, on some X accounts I have.
I just thought that you knew who it was.
I'm not sure who it is.
But who?
But who?
It seems like it's a Groiper-based room. I mean, I know that's a very generalized statement. It doesn't really mean anything, but it does seem to be, I don't know exactly what they're talking about because they kicked me so quickly, but, it seems
But that's
interesting.
the reason why I was asking, because it could have been as well Jacques organizing the room. Was Ashlyn there?
I have no idea who was in the room. I just know that, I see Andrew Myers' white yarmulke in his white suit on the wedding day when he doesn't even look happy. He looks miserable.
Is he still using the same photo?
Yep, still using the same white kippa. Personally, I like him. I think he's funny as hell. I like his takes. I think he can be entertaining.
Yeah, me too. I kind of like him. It's just that he sometimes is unbearable. I find him funny. But sometimes he's just too obnoxious, I think.
Who?
Andrew Meyer.
Don't know.
He's the "Don't Tase Me, Bro" who screamed at John Kerry.
I thought it was Ryan speaking.
He's an attorney in Phoenix.
Ryan, you're in the Matrix.
Oh, I just want to announce, per Yakov's rules, I am live streaming this onto multiple platforms. Just FYI, sisters.
It wasn't a rule. It was like a suggestion.
It was a courtesy.
What?
It was a courtesy.
No, I know, but you framed it as it was a rule that I'm imposing. I don't have the right to impose a rule.
May I see the guidelines and check the small box?
Soren sent me he sent me a message as a back channel and said, you should be aware of this guy. And it was a video, Adrian, of you streaming the room where with a mirror effect, where Rabbi Uri was saying something about going back into Gaza, and then I was speaking. Interesting. It's really strange to hear your own voice.
Yeah. Was it anything juicy, or was it just Soren? Was it just Soren getting his dopamine?
He thought he was like giving me new information that I was unaware of. I'm like, no, he's a rock star. He's all over the app. Everyone knows who you are.
Well, let's do it. We got the guy. Let's ask him some questions.
Who knows who they are? I mean, do they know who they are in Edmund or Uri?
No. Edmund was recording an exchange where Uri and I were talking, and a bunch of people were talking. I remember it was like 2 days ago or something like that. No big deal. It doesn't matter. I just thought it was amusing that Soren was sending me that, like he was letting me know about some secret that I didn't know about.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, everybody knows who Edmund is.
Exactly.
Everybody knows what he does. So I still don't know why people choose to get so outraged. It's like if you see Edmund in the room, just don't even bother coming if you don't like it or if you feel uncomfortable.
No, the only reason why I made the request, it was a period of time where there were PTR names I didn't know, so I thought I was being recorded without my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, but
I think it's reasonable.
If
but
Edmund is in the room, you're being recorded.
Yeah. No, if it says Adrian, like, I get it. But when it's, like, all these other names, like, it's hard to tell. So.
I know. Yesterday, you were streaming a room about... I don't remember, but I went into the room, the original room, and I couldn't identify who you were. Edmund.
That's the only issue that I have.
Well, we're all here. Can we, like, do a cool topic or something?
Cool topic, okay.
Or
Vampires?
I'm down. I don't give a fuck. Like, anything but, like, well, I saw you here, and I did that, and I felt like...
Well, this is what we do. We are friends. We've been friends for 4 years.
Okay, so let's do psychology. Why did you not pick a queen or a knight or, a power chess piece? You picked a pawn.
Yeah, why a pawn?
Yeah, although pawns can become queens, so he's like a queen in hiding.
So he's like
pawns can become anything,
that is such a good observation.
I love it.
Yeah, pawns are trannies.
That's so true. It's not so not a good hiding place though.
I'm not gonna get into it, but there is a reason I chose that picture.
Yeah, no, it helped me out. I was just wondering.
So for fun, I chose because I'm not great at chess, but I became decent at it because my friends challenged me and I wanted to beat them and it was fun. And I learned that utilizing your pawns depending on, the first couple moves really could help you win the game.
Well, pawns are very powerful.
People forget the pawns do win. And one of my favorite Bob Dylan songs is Only a Pawn in Their Game.
I knew he was gay.
Yeah.
Was? He's still alive.
I'm not. Like, you know what, Issa? Everything's gay or chicken fucking to you. Can you just say something like with any sort of education?
I will say whatever I want to say.
Yeah, don't tell her what to say. Valen, she's a woman. Even though she's a woman,
that's right.
Never tell her.
Valen, how do you know she wasn't saying you're just happy? Why do you have to associate gay with being homosexual? She was just saying happy for Jesus. Like, chess is a happy game. Jesus.
What does Jesus have to do with this?
Sisters, I'm just saying, not everything is gay is gay. Gay means happy. Can we use it for an English joyful word instead of this anal fixation with anal pillaging and blowjobs and putting digits inside booty holes? Now that's what gay is. Gay can also be the Broadway gay. You're not really gay, you're just happy.
Oh, which begs the question. Only that you're not.
Of course. How can he record a room where he is not in?
Because he has this farm of phones, so...
Yeah, well, still...
I mean, actively talking. I meant actively talking. Actively talking is... Okay, you want the definition? Actively talking is opposed to putting up a PTR, it's just in the room recording.
No, he records all of it. He even streams.
No, you don't get it. Like,
he
can
I
only
get
talk
it.
in one room.
I know.
This is
He
a
even
true world
streams.
we're living
He
in.
even
Let it
streams. He even streams the conversations between his mom and his sister.
Really? I have not heard that. Interesting. Can you put a link in the chat, Adrian, for one of those?
Well, sometimes he streams them here on
I
Clubhouse.
thought you were in an
He's
apartment by
on a
yourself.
call with them, and he's streaming them on Clubhouse.
Ah. Do they live with you, or?
No, on the phone.
Oh, on the phone. Oh.
Jakob, did the chicken made you something yesterday?
Maybe
Guatemalan
something like
chicken?
No, yeah, it lowered my IQ to the average IQ of
Yeah, exactly. It did, apparently.
It's a temporary thing. She said it would last 40 hours.
No, Issa's IQ.
Yeah. Like, what is the average IQ in Guatemala's like?
Probably like 20, and
No.
still it's going to be higher.
It's statistically different, but I think it has to do with the testing methodology, not because people are generally stupid.
No, they are. They are low IQ.
No, but it's so low as to be, like, unfunctional.
Yeah, like Mayans, they don't really have a very developed IQ.
But because they don't have access to education.
I just want to.
A high IQ without proper education, it's kind of hard to detect it. You know what I mean?
47.72 is like almost like a rock. The IQ of a rock.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they're stupid. They're more like lack of education. It doesn't let them develop properly. You know what I mean?
Don't insult rocks. They provide valuable.
They provide
valuable.
I'm not insulting. Yeah, I look at rocks as future sand. I look at rocks as future beaches. They're just beaches in hiding.
Well, the succession is rocks to plant life to, fish and animals or whatever, but there is a connection, they say in philosophy or in Buddhism or whatever, that the rocks do become alive. And that it could be true. But it's like the Rolling Stones. If you want to be alive, you got to start rolling.
Hey guys, don't make Issa think too much now.
Brain could explode.
Is this the way you flirt with someone?
No, I like soft.
See, Valen, you know how pathetic that is to even think a woman thinks?
But did it work, Issa?
No, but I'm just wondering. He's obsessed.
He had 3 in a row.
Valen, what was the last good book you read, Valen?
Playboy doesn't count.
It's not even printed anymore.
Because I say shit in, shit out. If people spew shit on this app and negative word speech all the time, I think that there's a direct correlation that they're not putting enough good words into their brain.
You're absolutely correct. I don't blame you for that.
The problem with flirting on the internet is people first try to find someone they want to have sex with, and then they hope to hell they get along with them, and that's when the whole communication comes in.
No one gets sidetracked. You asked me a question about it.
Did you ever, before you got married, did you ever do blind dating or something equivalent to online dating?
Let me think about this. I never did blind dating, but internet dating in the beginning was like the Wild West, and it was great because all of a sudden you had all these horny women who discovered they could just meet a guy and fuck him. And
when did you get married?
There was literally no filter on them. It was like, you want to get together? Great. Yeah, let's
What year did you get married?
I don't like to. I've been married almost 20 years now.
Okay, so you already got married. There's the reason why I was asking. You already got married in the internet time, during the internet.
Oh yeah, but the internet. Let me think about the timing of this. Yeah, the internet dating took off. That was like the late 90s. But by the late 90s,
I got internet the first time at home. I was still like young and in school, but I remember it was 1994 when we had the first computer at home and the internet. I was like, and I remember that back then it was not like direct and private instant messaging. It was more apps like ICQ and then, you know, but and chat rooms as well.
Yep.
And so, but people were already kind of like interested in meeting people online.
Yeah. But the difference is women at that point hadn't realized that it was just another outlet for men to do the equivalent of a one-night stand. So everybody women were on there like crazy, wanting to meet guys. And after about 4 years, they wised up.
Yeah, but my question, so you got married like 20 years ago, that must have been like 2005 or something there. When did you meet your wife, and did you ever do online dating before?
I thought I had told you, yes, I did, but I didn't do blind dates, and I met my wife, and then 9 months later we were married.
How did you meet your wife, or friends?
In real life, I met her at an event.
Okay. Yeah, it's more organic.
Yes. And which was, we were both attracted to each other, and then things proceeded from there.
There's also cage free.
There's also what?
There was an
cage free. Yeah, cage free.
It's free range, cage free.
Yeah, but the point is that when you're trying to date on the internet, there's a whole bunch of data you get from a person, and feelings and energy and all of that, but there's a whole bunch of data you get from a person in real life that you don't get in the internet. And I mean, like, I can look at your picture and say, oh, well, you look attractive. But then the way a person moves, the way they talk, their hand gestures, that could turn you off. All of those things.
Yeah, that's true. Although, an app like Clubhouse, I mean, like Randy, I don't know if he's still in the room. Yeah, he's still there. An app like Clubhouse, even though he says it's not a dating app, I gotta, give
it is.
Some credit for that, because I already tried it and it didn't work. But yeah, in Clubhouse you can get a little bit more of an idea, right? Who the person is, on how they interact and what they speak and who they talk to and how they move in a social environment, right? Much more information than if you do it through Tinder or Bumble or one of these other one-on-one apps.
I would say yes.
Can I tell you something before I go back to the audience?
What?
Can I just say something very quick on that?
Of course, you can say whatever. You can stay on stage.
No. But the thing is, Clubhouse is not a dating app, and people who use it as a dating app usually are those who are not successful in real life or on the actual dating apps, and usually they're fat or they're black, and that's what it is. I'll see you guys.
What about faggots?
Statistic.
I would say to some degree you get a better idea of what a person is like, but it's still not complete. You have to. People fight against this. The only difference between a friend and a lover is that you fuck the lover. You have sex with that person.
Oh my God, Alan, I've never heard you speaking like this.
You know, Alan was once a young man, Issa. He made passionate love many times in his life.
Well, no, I'm very romantic lovers.
Well, you weren't. Right now you're fine, I think.
Yeah.
Too spicy for the Matrix, Alan.
Yeah. But the point is you have to want to have sex with the person on some animal level. Otherwise, what's the point?
Oh.
Yes.
Listen to me.
Anyways.
Well, Alan, haven't you ever moved around a huge bag of laundry? Super heavy, but work still got to get done.
That's true. One must always do one's duty. You know. And doesn't that make the journey more interesting and the final reward more fulfilling?
100%.
True love.
Doing the laundry with someone is better than doing the laundry alone.
Anyways, that's all I got.
Did you? Well, yeah, because you dated 9 months, your wife, before you got married. So I was.
Yeah, I mean,
we
we
heard you
both
play the piano before.
We both knew where it was going, so why, you know.
Did you have premarital sex?
My wife and I did nothing before marriage except hold hands, and that was only in the presence of a chaperone who was...
But that's not the question. The question is, did you have sex before marriage? Not necessarily with your wife.
Not necessarily what?
Not necessarily with your wife. Like, what about that low club when you were 16?
Oh, I thought, or did you mean specifically with my wife, Isa, or just in general?
No, I'm talking with your wife, but now I like the expanded version of the question.
Again?
What about with all the women?
Again?
Tell us about the blowjob you got when you were 16.
Again, I did not. I believe that women are goddesses and should be worshipped, and I wouldn't think of violating.
You sound like a feminist.
I wouldn't think of violating their physical space. With my probing male member.
You sound like a feminist right now.
No, you're misunderstanding. Google worship. Google what it means to be a goddess. This guy is into ass worship. I'm just letting you know.
Ass worship?
Lisa is someone who
Rabbi
tickets for no reason. So let's not really take her that seriously.
Are you into ass worship, Alan?
Wow. Can I now? Yeah, don't.
No, it's
okay,
not.
Alan,
Actually,
try
there was a story with this. The idea of
you're in the matrix. Try to go to the three dots, choose the audio quality, and then pick low.
Before you tell him what to do, how about Isabel? Can you go Google goddesses and worshiping? Can you do that?
Goddesses.
Yeah, just write sexual goddess and sexual worship. Just write down.
Separate or all together? Sexual goddess.
Separate. That you get them at all those goddesses are usually.
There's sexual goddess.
Yes, so that you understand really what he's trying to tell you.
All right.
So sexual goddesses. It says this lecture looks at a series of divine female figures in the ancient world from the Middle East to Western Europe.
No, that's not one, man. Okay, no, not that. Another one.
Is this better?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah.
Why don't you just share the link with us, Rabbi?
Oh my God.
Because I called that, and that's what I got.
Yeah, the first time I heard about a man doing anything oral with a woman's ass was I was 23 years old. I'm in a club, and this random guy, I don't know why, turns to me and says, "Oh, look at that woman there. The way her hip connects with her thigh. I'd lick that ass."
Amazing.
I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? I never heard anything like that again until I came on Clubhouse and went into black rooms. That's it.
Yeah, black people. Can I just tell you what goddess means? Goddess is used to indicate, I'm reading it right now, okay, so that you guys understand what he means when he says goddess and worship. Okay, goddess is used to indicate someone who is revered and respected by their submissives, almost like a figure of worship or veneration.
within a kinky context. It usually reflects a dynamic where the goddess is seen as a powerful, commanding presence, and her desires and decisions are central to the experience. It's important to note that this role is based on mutual consent, clear communication, and respect for boundaries, limits, and safety. Okay, now worship usually refers to the act of showing adoration, devotion, or submission to the dominant person in the relationship. It can take many forms, depends on what the individuals involved desire. So the question is, what do you desire exactly in that worship?
Are you calling him a cock?
No, but it can be physical worship, like kissing, touching, and massaging. It can be verbal worship, like praising and complimenting and expressing respect and admiration. And it can be symbolic, like going on your knees if you're a cook, offering gifts, performing tasks that show submission and devotion. That's basically what it means.
So what kind of worshipping do you do, Alan?
I was wondering if it's ass worship. I mean, ass worship is not bad.
Are you an ass worshipper, Randy?
Well, it depends on the girl.
Depends if it's bleed.
Depends on. I know a girl that's like that ass, but
I like my assholes though.
Y'all.
Chocolate or strawberry.
My God.
Okay, so worship can be tailored to fit the specific desires of the individuals involved, and it can often focus on the idea of honoring, it does often focus on the idea of honoring the dominant partner as an important, revered figure in the dynamic.
Would you say a prayer before you do it?
Who's this nigga?
I don't know, but you can do whatever you want with him.
Yeah. Nobody kicked him out.
You can do it.
No, I believe in democracy and, Okay, thumbs up if you want him to stay, thumbs down if you want him to kick.
Everybody vote.
People in the audience can't vote.
Yeah, they're like illegal aliens.
Voting ends in 5 seconds.
Oh my God, everybody vote.
Fuck.
Support some.
4, okay, so it's 2 to 1. 4, 3.
I put 2 thumbs up.
2.
Democracy.
What? It's done.
No, it's a tie.
It's done.
It's a tie. That's a tie. Wow.
Put it up.
He's like an authoritarian, but yeah, that guy was driving me crazy.
A democratic authoritarian.
Yeah, it's a democratic authoritarian.
I mean, 3 people voted, 2 to 1. So
we were counting the thumbs. Electoral college. I thought this was.
I didn't participate.
Yeah, but if you
Popular vote is counting the thumbs.
But if you don't participate, you don't get to go play.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm good.
About kicking another guy.
Yeah, we just kicked the guy.
Oh.
So, okay,
You
let's
kicked
get
out the pawn?
Yes, let's get deeper into
Who's the
these.
king now?
Let's get deeper into these.
Oh.
Did you ever worship ass in your life? Did you ever do something with an ass?
Never.
Like, were you ever suffocated by a big booty? Did you ever tell a woman, get that juicy ass on my face?
Whether you've told someone and whether that's happened could be 2 different things.
Never.
Daniel,
Has a woman ever asked you to eat her ass?
Daniel,
Never.
Who?
Daddy.
Oh, why?
Because I said she loves face sitting.
Come on.
That's funny.
Why these questions, Isa? I mean, I understand.
I don't know.
brought
It's just
up
that
this
Randy was the one asking about your ass.
No, because he said goddess and worship, and I'm just saying these things have a meaning, and I'm just wondering what he means by it, if it's the actual meaning or if he has his own definition of things.
I was just using the rhetoric, Randy. There wasn't any specific meaning. I was just parroting, that rhetoric in order to deny actually answering the question she asked.
Well, but I think there is some freakiness going on, which there's nothing wrong with that, because you did mention something, being primal, basically, the animalistic thing.
Animalistic desire of.
Well, you're reading too much into it. There has to be sexual attraction.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and you can't know that until you meet the person in real life.
Right, but what I'm saying is you might be more deviant than the average, is what I'm saying. So you might be
more what?
Yeah, you might not be rightfully characterized as vanilla.
Well, I would. It really. I understand what you're trying to do. I mean, you could be a couple that only does missionary position your whole life, but the point is, you still need to like doing that, whatever that is.
Well, from my experience, usually the way it is, well, I don't know, to each their own, but from my experience, usually they don't really care about the act as much as they care about the person they're doing it with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You hear that, Isabel? You too might end up eating ass.
Me? No.
That's right.
Never. I would never. That is definitely something that I am not open to do.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Come back to me in 5 years.
I'm telling you, dude. I would never. I am allergic to ass.
Probably just finished eating ass like less than a week ago.
No. No, I would never. That is something that I would never do. Like, honestly.
Oh, you know what that means? There's a first time for everything.
Well, have you ever even... Well, yeah, you have, of course.
I've done all sorts of shit. I'm a rabbi.
Shut up, Randy. Oh, this is amazing. This is like the old days in the itty bitty titty community. Oh, Norm is here. Hey, Norm.
Morning.
We're talking about asses, Norm. Do you like ass?
That is not a trick question.
You're talking about what?
Asses.
I can't understand. I can't understand what you're saying.
Asses, like butts.
We're talking about the obsession with the butox.
Yeah.
Butts.
Yeah, obsession with.
Gotcha. Kulos. Why don't you just speak the language?
Kulos, yeah.
Thank you.
Do you worship culos?
No.
No, it's just Italian and Spanish, so.
Really? The Italian and Spanish worship them? And the Brazilians?
Yeah, Portuguese, I think, yeah, they also say culo. Yeah. Those Latin languages, yeah, we say culo.
I think it's more like a. Where do you think this thing about worshipping ass comes from? Like what region of the world?
They look like breasts.
Yeah, it's the curvature. The attraction is in the curvature.
Black people.
It's called the goddess Asi, or the goddess of ass. It's in mathematics. It's literally, the curvature.
It is the golden ratio.
Yeah, it is mathematical.
Yeah. Have I just entered an episode of Rick and Morty?
No, but I do get the feeling this is like original Clubhouse right now. Like, I get the feeling that we're technically all like Jerry Seinfeld, Elaine Bennis, Cosmo Kramer, George Costanza. Like, this is the Clown House cast right here, ladies and gentlemen.
drink off a bowl?
No, Seinfeld, they eat cereal.
Oh. I think we should have Ashlyn back in Clubhouse, and then we will be like the original time.
No, screw that whole
Ashlyn. Why are you fighting with Ashlyn?
No, but just so cringe. Like on Twitter, she's really still in that groiper shit.
I know. When have you heard her? I went. Well, I've been to a couple of their rooms with Jack and Ashlyn and Vinny. But yeah, it's like very groiperish, like extremely so.
Vinny is fine. Jacques is a troll. Ashlyn really buys into it.
Yeah.
That's what's
You remember that really fat black woman named Hunter Shackelford?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Was that unbelievable? I didn't know anybody like that existed. They had to invent her in a laboratory. That was unbelievable.
She's a paid activist.
What do you think about Reverend? That is one of the most insanely toxic, retarded, Anyways.
I had fun with her the other night, actually.
Yeah.
After fighting with her.
She can be very entertaining.
Reverend is...
She uses this...
Yeah, go ahead.
She uses this ugly PTR photo. Is it of a man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying that there's, definitely what Rabbi said earlier, a large percentage of N-words on this app, or S-words.
Why are you so scared? Just say it.
I'm not, because I'm being facetious in the sense that, like, I don't think that. Anyways, I'm just saying that this app is just full of a lot of characters. Is really what I'm saying. A lot of characters on the stage here, and the thing is, you can have a negative word like the N word, but it still doesn't accurately describe the character on the stage. I think
That's what triggers me. That's what triggers me. Either you say nigger or you don't say it.
Yeah, I don't say it. I don't say the N word. That's a you thing.
But don't say N word. That's what.
Oh no, I'm saying N word.
You're trying to communicate the N word, whether you say N word.
I get it. That's my double entendre. I'm being facetious. If you don't like the N word, that's a you problem. That's a you problem, sir. You problem, sir. I don't say the N word.
That's a good point, Ryan. Because if you say N word, people know that what you're actually trying to say is the word nigga. So
that's not true. I'm thinking Nostradamus.
The N-word that, then you're doing exactly the same.
I'm not. I don't say the N-word, and I'm not thinking the N-word. I'm saying Nostradamus.
Hold on. If I may,
yes, hi.
I think it matters how you say it. Like, if you say, it's sort of like the word Jew. Like, I've heard people say it in a very, offensive way, and I've heard people use it in a non-offensive way. So it does have... There needs to be some inflection, That's how it's inflection.
But after, I'm gonna disagree with something. There is not an offensive way and a non-offensive way. Offense is defined by the person who decides to get offended.
Oh my god, please. This is too.
Well, it does take some skill to be, good with the English language.
It's a simple question. Don't you guys think saying N-word?
So you gotta understand, when Rabbi says N-word...
Don't yell. Hold on.
I'm not yelling, I'm just saying the N-word. Rabbi likes the dopamine. He's in the dopamine cartel. He's a dopamine harvester with... N-word is a dopamine harvesting technique of the low IQ.
Can we just move him to the audience?
I'm sure you could say, you could say N-word.
N-word is offensive. When you say N-word, that's what I would expect you to say when you're first grade, second grade. My idea is, if you don't like the word, don't say it.
Don't even make reference to it.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I mean, I don't say, but if I say nigger, I don't say N-word like a child. But in general, you should, if you don't want to say it, don't say it.
Don't use the phrase N-word either.
Yeah, N-word is really what triggers me. It's like you're saying it's like you're a child.
All communication is hypnosis.
You say pee-pee. You know, that's like a child.
Just don't refer to the word, and that's it.
You can't rely on
Low IQ N words.
I guess what I'm getting at is like you can't rely on the literal. Like you have to see where people are coming from to determine what their intent is. It's like being tickled.
I wouldn't hear that
Asher, no, but Asher,
when you hear
listen
them
to this.
N-words, you
If
said
I tell you you're a retard, you understand what I'm saying, right? I'm calling you a retard. But if I no, but hold on. It doesn't matter. Don't talk about the very specifics right now. Just think about this. If I say, Asher, you're a retard, do you get the message?
It depends on the context.
No. Do you understand the message of my words? If I say, Asher, you're a retard, you understand what I'm trying to say, right? But if I say, Asher, you're an R word, you're getting the exact same message as if I say, Asher, you're a retard. I'm just changing the word because some people